finally, we move to color 6, which is shores and the watcher. Shores are transitional spaces where two elements meet, the edge of water and land. These are environments that balance dynamic energy with stability and support alignment. If this is a left arrow, it is a natural shore. These are organic, natural shore-like environments, untouched beaches, lakesides, or riverbanks. Natural settings with water and land resonate deeply with your body. And on the flip side, we have the right arrow, and these are artificial shores. These are human-made shore-like environments. These are urban waterfronts, piers, or pools. Artificial transitional spaces feel stimulating and supportive.
It can even be an urban not waterfront. If where you are and there's a big change somewhere from where you are to where you view from your apartment, let's say, that may seem like an artificial shore. Just across a cityscape can feel a little bit like a shore depending on where you are. But if there's a railroad track separating you, you actually can even feel that way. You'll notice when you're up looking out a window or what have you. You can sort of feel like it. But it is the artificial aspect of it. These two things, natural and artificial shores, they bring transition just like the thing said, because of these two things coming to meet. These two things that are not the same, they're exact opposites. And just like the 6-line process, this environment sets up what ultimately becomes not the subjective, not the objective, but neither and both at the same time. That's where shores is. Shores is where so many ideas will come and the final words will get said that put a final cap on the motion and the direction that will be empowered to move in. Shores is where so much of the information will come because the watcher speaks. The listener may have listened, but it still needs the watcher. The watcher and the listener, if you think about it, are basically gate 13, finally speaking through gate 33. Shores is the final completion of the prodigal in a sense, because that's what it does for us. It literally allows us to synthesize the rest of a direction, and it's towards beauty. There's nothing that's not beautiful about shores. No one says a bad thing because they had to go to the beach. It's just not a thing. It's not a thing. It's like going into a hospital where there's new babies. Nobody goes into a hospital and says, oh God, that's an ugly baby. You just don't hear it. Basically, there are no ugly babies. There are no awful shores. I guess if it's all polluted and stuff, but mostly, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And by the way, natural shores. A polluted shore would not be natural. And that's what's so important about us. That's basically where we get headed. We came from the water and we end up sort of going back to it to be in a transitional symbiosis with it. Notice shores isn't about getting into the water. It's about being back full circle from where we started in a sense. It allows for us to transition. So if you're in shores, just recognize you write good books. You know, you're meant to speak once you're in your right environment. You're meant to tell us what that's like. And you're meant to be a role model of what the watcher is supposed to see, away from hypocrisy and towards being a model of what it is to be yourself in communion with others. Shores represents, in a sense, beauty, our movement towards beauty.
There's the obvious shore of like water, beaches, lakesides, whatnot, and also just like where different environments meet. I've also heard shores as, less literal waterfront, but it could also be where two different types of environments meet. So I have a shores friend who loves to travel, and she loves like geology and how the earth formed and how mountains formed and how she's very fascinated with these meeting of different environments and how they got that way.
Shores in a nutshell, it's the top binary, and it is the true universalization and then transition into the next creative aspect of whatever's next hexagram that is. And that's what shores represents.